I am Raziel.
What's up, guys? Raziel here again, and yeah, we had a long night last night. Not just because of my stream and getting drunk as shit during it, but because of course, the live letter. So that's what this video is about: is the live letter. However, I'm not going to go over every single detail of the live letter. There are plenty of channels that do that, and I kind of already done that. In the description below, you will find the links to my Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers leaks videos that turned out to be all pretty much 100% accurate, 99% accurate. So if you want to know every single last detail, go watch those videos and you'll know, you'll get some context. Also, the info is available all over on the internet now. This video is more of a quicker video where I want to talk about some key points and my opinions on them, and then get your guys' opinions on the changes. So also, keep in mind down below, if you haven't seen the all the jobs, new animations and rotations, the video to that is also linked in the description. And also the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers benchmark that's available for download will also be in the description below, and it's what's playing in the background of this video right now. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, check it out. If you want to download it and benchmark your PC, go ahead and do that. So anyway, the big changes I want to talk about. Excuse me. I want to talk about the tanks changes. So we were right and wrong in the sense that tank stances are going away. Enmity generating combos are going away, which for me, that's fucking great. It seemed to be a lot of extra steps for generally a provoke is what an enmity combo was. So the difference that is now is you'll still have a tank stance, but you don't lose DPS from it. You don't lose all the drawbacks of being in tank stance that are currently in the game are gone. All being in tank stance does is increase your threat generation, your enmity generation now. So more than people might be saying, well, why the fuck wouldn't I just stay in that stance all the time if it doesn't affect my DPS? Well, I'm sure each tank job is going to have abilities that can't be used while in tank stance to compensate for that. So there is still going to be a little bit of dancing in terms of tank stance, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as it is now. Overall, I'm very happy with the changes. Very happy with things coming to Dark Knight. Again, if you want to see that, look in the leaks videos in my description, and of course the new job actions animations video that Square released also in the description. So that's very. My whole, I want to know your guys' opinions on the tank changes. I think they're fucking fantastic. All tanks now have some utility to help buff party members, protect party members, much akin to like the Paladin's cover, I'm assuming. And you have to, excuse me, they're all going to be dealing some more damage. And even though there's MTOT, they did make it very clear that all 4 tanks will be able to be main tank or off tank and be viable. So that's fucking great. That's exactly what I was hoping for, and I'm really excited to play my Dark Knight, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm Dark for life, Edgelord for life, but if you're an avid watcher on my YouTube channel and my stream, you know this is the case. Anyway, so tank changes. Those are some pretty big changes. Also, what do you guys feel about, next up, healing changes? The fact that healers are going to be far more dedicated healers as opposed to, just damaging is non-stop and healing at the last second. Obviously, there's some huge UI changes to help healers out. For example, health bars now can be displayed in decimals of percents, as well as you can now see shields on the UI. You're going to be able to see shields, like a little meter of how much of a health pool of a shield they have. To help healers, decide who needs a shield, who doesn't, things like that. So what are your opinions on the changes coming to healers in terms of trying to make them all balanced and trying to make them all much more dedicated to healing? The other system I wanted to bring up is the charge system. Now, we don't know which jobs are going to be, excuse me, hot damn, which jobs are going to be affected by the charge system, because I'm guessing it's going to be mostly DPS. I don't see tanks really having a charge system too much. Maybe they do. I don't know. Healers, I don't know. But Yoshi P did say that not all jobs are going to have a use for the charge system or have access to it. The charge system is essentially a way for DPS to not be greedy in their damage, is how I interpret it, so they don't get killed, you know. So right now in the game, let's say you know a mechanic is coming in on a savage mode fight, and so you're like, I can squeeze this last, you know, as Samurai Madari, and I can squeeze this last Madari in, but if you're even a, you know, a nutsack hair off, you're going to get hit by the mechanic and you're going to die. So what the charge system ultimately does is you can save up your big hitting hits, like you can save charges of them. So if you're like, okay, a mechanic's coming, you don't have to be greedy, you're not going to lose DPS, because you'll step out, avoid the mechanic, then jump back in and hit all your charges as if you were on the boss the whole time. So that's how I interpret it, and I think that's a really, really good change. It's going to be interesting to see how that works in practice. And this charge mechanic, I think, is going to drastically increase the skill ceiling on a lot of jobs. So that's great. That's something Yoshi P did point out during the live letter, is the skill ceiling. Even though a lot of abilities, cross-class abilities, are getting removed, all the cross-class abilities getting removed and baked in innately into the jobs, the skill ceiling is still going up. So players that are the better and excel and do that shit, they're gonna even have a more rewarding time in the game. So what are your opinions on the charge system? What do you think about it? Are you excited for it? I honestly think it's a really good change. I think it's going to improve the game quite dramatically. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the changes to materia. The fact that Vit, Strength, Dex, you know, Intellect, Piety materia, main stat materia is going away, and I'm okay with that, mainly because right now it's kind of just a necessary requirement. You just check off, you know, the list of, okay, I got this new piece of gear, I gotta put vitality in it, and I gotta put strength in this accessory, you know, you just do that endlessly. Every piece of gear you get, you just, okay, but there's no thought process. You know you need strength or vit or int. You just know when you need something, and it's by default. So the stat might as well just be on the gear in the first place. And it's more interesting juggling stats like direct hit, crit, things like that, in my opinion, than it is, you know, to make a build, than it is to just go, okay, I need a main stat, need main stat, need main stat. So I think it's a really, really, really good change. What are your guys' opinions about what you saw in the live letter? If you didn't see the live letter, if you watched my leaks videos, how do you guys feel about it? Like, I mean, there's a lot of UI changes coming in. You know, they said like you'll be able to see better which abilities a monster does that are interruptible as opposed to not. A bunch of UI changes, UI color changes. You know, they're adding new role quests, which I think is really, really great. To kind of go back and get some more history of like 1.0 and some of the characters, these new side quests. Oh, and one thing I did want to point out also that I think is a really fantastic change is now all side quests will level sync. So that means, you know, if you missed a side quest that was level 15, and you're like, well, shit, it's a waste of time to go back and do that now. If you're looking for experience, if you're leveling up alt jobs now, you can do side quests and they'll sync to your level, so you'll still get a good reward, good experience. They made some huge changes to fates. They're going to make the open world fates more appealing by giving special items and currency for completing these fates. What items can drop is going to vary by fate, so I imagine eventually they're going to shove in mounts and pets and things like that you can get from actually participating in open world fates, so kind of bringing some liveliness back to the open world again. Anyway, guys, these are the main points I wanted to touch on. Obviously, the live letter was far more detailed. They had a lot more, you know, intimate things about it that I'm not going to go over in this video, but if you, again, go over my leaks videos if you want more details, and there's translations on Final Fantasy Reddit for the live letter and everything at this point. So thanks everybody so much for the support. The amount of support I've received over the last week and a half has been astounding. I mean, my first leaks video, when it came out, I was just under 3K subs. Now I'm almost to 4K. So thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Catch me on Twitch and Twitter. I really don't use Twitter that much because I fucking hate social media. I fucking hate it, guys. but it's cancer. It's a huge tumor on my nutsack. I swear to God. But follow me mainly on Twitch. If that's the best way to reach out to me, if you're interested in reaching out to me and having a discussion with me while I'm live streaming, I'm more than happy to do that. Keep in mind, right now my stream times are a little spotty because Shadowbringers isn't out yet. I don't want to burn myself out in the current games. I've kind of completed everything I need to at this point. But right now, in general, I stream every Thursday night, Friday morning, and Saturday morning. However, one day usually I don't. So right now I'm kind of only streaming 2 days a week. But once Shadowbringers comes out, I'll be back to 3 and probably even 4 days a week. So keep an eye on my Twitch channel if you're interested in that. I'm not trying to whore myself out here. But anyway, guys, this has been Raziel. Tell me what you think in the comments down below about the changes coming in. And as always, my friends, keep it real.